Hey guys, this is Group 29. This is our app called Codex. Um, I'm just going to give you kind of like a high level overview of what we're going to be doing. Um, so, this is our ambient media player app. So, on the right hand side, we have these things called contexts. This is basically like playlists, except instead of just like music, it has like a video, which will be so this guy right here. This is the Tatooine, right? From Star Wars. This is the video I'm playing in the background. I could select a music folder, to play like local music, and then have an ambient sound like desert sounds playing in the background. And then if I click play, it would be able to do that. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through making a new context and show you what these do. So first of all, I'm gonna click new context. Context name. What's a good name? What's the vibe we're going for?
Winter Wonderland.
Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland. Okay, I'm gonna actually. So I'm gonna find a YouTube URL real quick. So Winter Ambience. This is probably all like ChatGPT, but whatever. Okay, this looks pretty. So I like the photo. So I'm not gonna take like the actual sound of this because I'm gonna make my own stuff. But I like the music here, so I'm gonna throw in the YouTube URL, and then I'm also gonna set a hotkey. I'm gonna set it to W, and then I'm gonna click create. So now we have our new context, Winter Wonderland. So this is gonna play right here. But this isn't really like it's like, oh, it's just a video player. No, that's not what this is. So I'm gonna search pause. This is the music. So I'm gonna select music folder now. So for example, let's say I want a winter ambience, but some music playing. So I have a folder right here. This is just some anime music I have. I'm gonna add this, and then I'm gonna click ambient sounds. I'm gonna add bird chirping because this is the one file I have in my computer. And then I'm going to play this, and I'm click. So I'll turn that down as well. So as you can hear, we have bird chirping. I'm also gonna turn on the music as well. So we have music playing, we have bird chirpings in the background. It doesn't really make sense for Winter Wonderland, but I don't know. That's what I could find, right? So this is now perfect. So if I'm reading a book, I could just like be immersed. But then let's say I have, I don't know, for whatever reason, our scene Tatooine. I could then just quickly click Q, and then it would allegedly meet. We're having issues with buffering, but we could quickly go to Tatooine, right? And then it would just be a very nice ambient reader for our demographic. So yeah. I want to show a few guys. I want to show a few more features. So right here on the bottom, we have the active player, the currently playing widget. This shows how many layers are active. So right now I have we have Winter Wonderland. So like YouTube video, we have a playlist, and then we have ambient sounds playing. So that's the amount of like layers being in here. However, for the Tatooine vibes, right, we only have one layer that's present, right? And then we also have a sound mixer right here. So if your music's a bit too loud, you can change that, and it'll change the volume of that, and it'll sound, except there's no like actual let me go switch back to Winter Wonderland. And then we also have a just a default sound bar. So yeah. All right. This is Dana Bailey, our primary persona. This individual, they will for their first user scenario, they're coming back from a hard day of work. And they're just tired, they're exhausted. So they open up this app, and the music initially at first, they don't like it. It's too energetic, and they're not feeling that right now. So they're gonna quickly click a button, and then boom, they're much more relaxed. They don't have to go through any menus or anything confusing like that. They just need to click a button, and boom. Okay, now for user scenario 2, Dana is reading a romance novel. Currently, it's getting good. It's just romance right now. However, oh no, the boyfriend just pulled out a gun. So, in order to match the mood, they're going to click a button on the keyboard, and then quickly changes this to an action scene. This makes that reading experience a lot more immersive. Hey guys, this is Group 29, as we've already said. So we're going to be kind of answering some questions that you guys that we imagined you guys would pose because the rubric wasn't that clear.
Okay.
So yeah, let's get started. So the big one was like, hey, like what questions did we encounter when doing this project? I would say, feel free to also pitch you guys.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Coding it for one, and then actually learning the tools that we needed to do the coding. So we use Electron to make our app, and since I did this in my internship, and these guys know programming, so like we're like, yeah, because at the end of the day, even though like sure we knew JavaScript, HTML, I knew Electron, I knew how it worked properly. It was annoying because like we spent a lot of time on the Spotify API, and that didn't get added by the way because it's hard, which we thought would be easier.
Yeah, no, I can speak a little bit because I spent a lot of time on the Spotify integration. There is a very strict process for logging in and then using that login token, which refreshes very often. And then even once you have that login token, you can't just call the Spotify API and have it play a song or give you a file or anything like that. You have to build your own essentially like mini Spotify player into your app using their SDK, which at that point is like, well, should we just build a second audio player just fully into our application?
Yeah, so we had our first audio player, which was like, it was a library called React Player, and I mean it wasn't just plug and play, but like it allowed us to do YouTube videos, local videos, and local audio all in the same media player, and we're trying to see how we can integrate Spotify with that, and the answer was like you can't. So it's basically we're looking at like around like ways to be like, hey, like whenever Spotify starts playing, you change the version that's like the audio player, and we'd already built around the original like three media sources that we had, and that would have been a lot of work. And our GSI Alvin just told us like, or not GSI, and our IA Alvin told us like, hey, just don't do that. And we're like, okay. So that was the one thing we had to strip from our project.
Yeah.
In addition, just because we were running out of time, we also had a notes feature and some other widgets that we thought would be cool ideas. These were already stretch goals, by the way. Like we knew that we probably weren't be able to get these, but we only had one widget, which was the currently playing on the bottom left corner. But the rest, because we wanted to be able to like, notes you can add, images you can add. That ended up getting scratched for the 1.0 release. So yeah. What else do we want to talk about?
I guess because Dana and I didn't have much experience with Electron, Brian, instead of just being able to code a lot of the time, had to spend a lot of time explaining to us like the different layers in Electron and how to integrate like different pieces of our application into.
Did I do a good job or no?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's
but
good.
It took
That's a relief.
it took a lot of time away from our ability to push through and do more feature development.
Yeah. I'll say like when we first started the project, I start coding everything. I laid out all the boilerplate code, framework code. Yeah. I look around like, hey, what are these guys doing? And they're like, oh, you don't know what we're doing. I'm like, oh shoot. So that was a bit of miscommunication on our part because I assumed these guys knew these tools and they didn't, which is like that was. So yeah, it was a bit of time just catching up to that. Did we encounter any other issues? Oh, we had memory issues. Yes. I know that. So with local file, this was kind of dumb on us. So what it was is normally when you upload.
Normally when you're playing a file from your local device on a local application, you don't hold that entire file in memory. The easiest way to implement an audio player is to hold that entire file in memory, which meant that our application would hold like 5 or 6 audio files just in the application memory instead of streaming them. And so we had to sort of go back to the drawing board on our audio player at least once to try and figure out how to use an audio stream to better optimize the application and make sure that we weren't holding on to a bunch of just miscellaneous files.
Yeah, I caught the bug, and it was funny because I had my like system processor like information screen open for another task. I remember I was testing the feature. I just saw like the memory like woo. I'm like that doesn't look right. Yeah. So, do we have anything else to add for now, or?
No, yeah, we're incredibly proud of the product that we were able to develop, and a lot of the styling that went in like the last
It looks pretty.
48 hours,
Yeah.
especially just like getting everything to look cohesive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially going from our lo-fi prototype to that the final demo that you just saw. It was a lot of cleaning up the UI and making sure all of our functionality was still intact.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thanks for watching.